everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Everything About Cricket, the podcast. I'm Freddie.
And I'm Oliver. And today we are going to be looking at the start of the fourth test between Australia and India and the start of the first test between England and Sri Lanka at the beginning of this bumper 2021 for the England Test cricket team. A lot to get into, isn't there, Freddie?
There's a ton to get into, Shuki. It's been very, very exciting and very good week of cricket, really.
Yeah, so we're going to start with England versus Sri Lanka, which started in the early hours of Thursday morning.
The 14th.
Yeah, Sri Lanka won the toss, batted first, and it just went downhill from there.
Yeah, I think they probably should have let England bat and get a good 400 odd.
Or maybe they could have batted properly themselves and got 400.
No, Shuki, let's be realistic here. Come on. No, to be fair, they have gone back. We'll get into their comeback after we dissect that awful innings of 135 all out.
We've got to try and keep it family friendly, Freddie. So we're going to describe it as awful.
Just awful.
Sorry?
I said awful, didn't I?
Yeah.
Good. Because we have
England started off pretty well with the new ball. Broad with a great opening spell. 3 wickets. Well, 2 of them in the opening spell, but finished with 3 wickets for the match.
His wicket quite good. Quite well. A bit unorthodox from Joe Root, to be fair. With the first of his wickets coming at leg gully, wasn't it?
Oh yeah. They said it was a tactic they had tried in the practice game. I listened to a Broad interview, and they said that just a lot of balls were going through there, so they had it as a planned tactic to have a leg slip in place, bowl straight, and you were going to get the occasional one that was too straight, and Tiramani just guided it really to best. So
it worked though, didn't it? But
yeah.
He was put down. Well, not put down because Leach was on the boundary for the pull, but he just didn't see it. Saw it too late, and he didn't get to it in time. But yeah, Broad, good spell, very good captaincy by Joe Root. It seems like their fourth round worked.
Yeah. Then 2 balls later, great delivery from Broad to dismiss Mendes for his 4th duck in a row.
Yeah, when you're down in cricket, the sport's going to make sure it keeps you there for as long as possible.
Yeah.
He's just going through a rough stage at the moment. I won't say I'm not entirely sure on what his situation is in the team and what part he plays normally, but I
think he's regular. Yeah, he's one of their better batsmen. So
he's very
Sri Lanka will really be hoping he finds some form. He's managed to avoid the Olympic rings in the second innings. He scored 15 there, I think.
Yes, he's avoided the pair, so he'll be very pleased with that.
Yeah.
But
the wickets from then were the next. I don't really know what to say about it, really. Second ball, best bowled. It was an okay delivery.
I mean, that just sums up his. I mean, I'm not sure there's been a more mediocre fifer.
Yeah.
It wasn't. I'm not saying he bowled badly, but he did not deserve 5 wickets.
Yeah, if anyone deserved 5 wickets, it was Leach rather than Bess.
He was more consistent with how he kept the ends down. He had less loose balls, but then Dom Bess's one of the most extraordinary wickets was one of the loose balls which he just dragged down.
Yeah, that was not a good shot.
No.
Dick Weller, wasn't it?
Yeah, Dick Weller, caught by Dom Sibley, who nearly lost it. And it's a really short ball, and he just ends up top edging it to a point. And it was just village, basically. That's one way to describe it.
Yeah. Don't really know what else you can say about that one.
No, but
Best's first wicket of Pereira was his second ball in the attack, and Pereira decided to try and reverse sweep it.
Yeah, straight.
It came off his gloves and went straight to first slip.
Also, there was another wicket of Shanaka, which was also quite odd, as it was quite powerfully struck into Bairstow. But that ended it resulting it to go up into the sky and subsequently into the gloves of Josh Buttler.
Yeah, played a sweep, hit short leg, gave Buttler some catching practice.
Very unlucky, but I think he should leave the sweep go route.
Yeah. Leach bowled very well, which is good to see. Only managed to get one wicket in the end, the wicket of Chandimal, which was again not a brilliant shot. The over before lunch, he had played exactly the same shot, got dropped by Dan Lawrence on debut, comes out after lunch, plays the same shot again to a similar ball, exactly the same bowler. This time England hold on to it.
Yes.
Just as it was looking good for Sri Lanka, really, Matthews and Chandimal building a partnership.
So that was wicket they needed. Yeah, that was the Leach provided that key, as it were.
Matthews just before that cut a short ball, top edged it straight to Joe Root at first slip. It was a very good catch. Went very far to him at about shoulder height.
Very good catch, yes.
He was standing a lot closer in than you normally would because it's such a slow wicket.
Yes, that's how Dom Sibley was dismissed in his first innings, and that's why Dan Lawrence was dropped twice, I think, because they were so close in for that low edge that with the hard one, which came higher up, it came so fast that they couldn't actually hold on to it.
Yeah. Then Embledenia was run out after facing one ball. Hasaranga nailed a straight drive off Leach. Took the top of his fingers off, not literally, but
almost.
And cannoned into the stumps. Nothing he could have done about that one.
Just unlucky.
Yeah. And then the last wicket was possibly, in my opinion, was the worst shot of them all. Best tossed it up. Hasaranga went for the reverse sweep and was about a second early on it. Ended up standing about a metre outside off. Fully completed the shot by the time it hit the stumps.
I mean,
just a bad way to end awful innings. 135 all out.
He got a nice little cameo of 19, which was the fourth highest score. And for number 9, that's not bad, but it's just the way in which he went was just not great. Although compared to the other sweep shots in the match, who was it who got? Was it Chandimal with the reverse sweep?
No, that was Pereira.
Pereira. We know that's a shot he can play, and he's used it on many occasions. So if he gets out doing that, then okay. But probably a bit too early, especially when you're losing wickets.
Yeah, definitely too early. And with the score at 25 for 2 in the 10th over, not really the right shot you should be playing.
No.
So Best ended up with his second 5-wicket haul, as we've said.
Not as good as his first.
No. And I imagine if he takes other international fifers, they will all be better than this one.
Yes.
But it goes down as 5 wickets. He'll be very pleased with that. And Lanka dismissed for the lowest ever first innings total at Gaul, which I think just illustrates how poor the innings was, really.
Especially knowing that it is more of a batting wicket. It's very slow, but it's a batting wicket if you get in.
Especially in the first couple of days when it's not spinning as much.
Yeah, exactly. So, but let's put that aside for Sri Lanka because there's a lot of positives to come in the second. But let's move on to the first England innings. Now, just before we go into complimenting Joe Root's Dan Lawrence, if you take their scores, right, that's 300. England would have been 121 for losing 8 wickets without them.
Yeah.
Which is, I have to say, very poor.
Yeah, it doesn't look great for the upcoming tour of India, especially
especially Sri Lanka.
Hmm.
I mean, they bowled decently, but having 120 odd for 8 without 2 batters is not very promising.
Yeah, and England would have been looking to bat Sri Lanka out the game really at 320 for 4 overnight.
Yeah.
And but in India, when we go there in February, 420 may well not be enough.
No.
India for your first innings. You have to be able to bat the side out the game. If you're at 320 for 4, you have to be able to get to 500 really.
Yes, and they could. Johnny Bairstow, second ball of the day, he batted well for 47. Deserved the 50, unfortunately got out. Josh Butler started, just didn't finish. But apart from that, Sam Curran first ball.
That was a good ball.
It was a good ball, to be fair. He just unlucky there. But Zach Crawley wasn't needed.
No. I was listening to I think it was Steve Harmison talking about it on TalkSport, and he was basically saying that Zach Crawley's release shot is down the ground. So he was looking to clear the man, but if you looked closely on the slow-mo replay, his bat flicked his pad as he came through with the shot, which is why it sort of just got spooned straight up into the air.
Yeah. Although it was only his 26th ball, and he wasn't being pinned down for a strike rate of 10. He was going. He was 9 off 25, 26 balls out. But it is his release shot. But yeah, Dom Sibley, decent ball.
Yeah.
As I said, they had the men in close, and any further back he wouldn't have been out. But yeah, a good ball.
Yeah. With the new ball, got a bit of bounce, a little bit of turn, maybe looking to play it a bit too leg side, but we know that's Sibley plays very leg side.
Yeah.
And then we've been basically saying negatives about England's innings, but it was a very good innings for 421.
Yes, it was.
Johnny Bairstow and Joe Root took England to stumps on day one. They looked in control.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Root was phenomenal. First ever double 100 for an England player in Sri Lanka.
It was absolutely amazing innings. I think that's his 4th, at least 4 double 100s.
Yeah.
And you couldn't fault the way he played. I mean,
no,
his sweeping on that day, he could sweep anything: short, full toss, Yorker.
Maybe not.
Well, you never know with Joe Root. With how he was batting yesterday, 228 of 321 balls.
Yeah, and chanceless.
Yes, chanceless.
If you're in for that long, you'd have a couple of edges, maybe a drop catch, but he didn't. The only close one was LBW. I think it was given out, but he reviewed it and it wasn't.
Away.
So.
Yeah, he inside there. I think it was on 10 or something like that. So if you count that as a chance, but it was LBW when he wasn't out, so it's not really a chance. But yeah, had to just say that about England with getting out, get out the way of the criticism, get the criticism out the way early.
Yeah.
So we can now compliment them for what they did well. Dan Lawrence on debut.
Yeah, he was good.
Yeah, he did. He was dropped twice, but that was when he was past 50 and trying to move the score, the strike rate along and the run rate along. So you can forgive him for that.
The 6 he hit was a pretty good shot.
Yeah.
Just
pose for the camera as well.
Yeah. Oh. Held the pose. And class knock on debut from Lawrence, 73. Incidentally, I've seen exactly the same score as Joe Root scored on debut.
Really?
Yeah. So maybe in 10 years, we'll be seeing Dan Lawrence scoring 220 against Sri Lanka.
Hopefully. Yes, we could be on to another Joe Root, which will be very, very appreciated, as there was only 2 scores higher than 50 in that match, so we definitely want that.
Yeah, Butler looked okay, got a good ball from Fernando. They changed the ball. The old one, well, it wasn't that old, but it got out of shape. They changed the ball, and then the first 2 balls with it were both wickets. Both swung after the ball had been doing practically nothing all of the first 2 days. The ball to Curran was pretty much unplayable, so you can't blame Curran for getting out first ball there.
No.
Just swung back in late, through the gate, first ball. Not many people would have kept it out.
Apart from us, obviously.
Oh, obviously, yeah. Never got out first ball.
No. Moving on.
Too often. Bess was run out. Root went for a sweep. Big LBW appeal. Root started running. Bess said no. Root just carried on running. Ran past Bess. Bess was run out.
I mean,
it was fair enough.
Yeah, you have to. If your captain's on 200 odd and he's running and you know it's not
you have
right,
to sacrifice yourself
to keep the captain there. I mean, if he was on about 2 and was looking very shabby, then maybe that's a different story. But Mark Wood. We don't really need to go into the Jack Beach Mark Wood really that much.
No.
But moving on to the bowling attack for Sri Lanka, fairly good. Massive
Embledenia. Yeah, he looked good with the new ball, the first and the second new ball. Provided problems for England, which isn't great signs for when we tour India and for Ashwin rather than Embledenia. As much as Embledenia is a good bowler and looks like one for the future, maybe a possible next Herath or Muralitharan for Sri Lanka.
Yeah, promising. Pereira even better though with the 4 wickets.
Yeah, and Fernando in that second spell did look very good, getting 2 nice wickets there. So I think 420 was probably, although after Sri Lanka's first innings it seemed like a very good score, I think it was probably about par.
I think so, yeah. On that,
so I wouldn't have said Sri Lanka bowled badly, really.
No, but yeah, it could have gone better for England, but then couldn't have really gone better for Joe Root and Dan Lawrence. So
yeah, I think as much as it looks like there was a collapse at the end, you've got to think about the situation. They would have been trying to speed up the scoring rate, so maybe you can forgive the collapse a bit.
Yeah.
To that. And then Sri Lanka's second innings,
which has got off to a flyer.
It looks like it's another team batting, really.
It doesn't look like the team we're facing on Thursday.
Yeah.
Pereira
62. Tiramani 76 not out.
Yeah, obviously Karen Napney injured just before.
Yeah.
Which isn't ideal, but it doesn't seem to have affected Sri Lanka in the second innings.
Yeah. It will be interesting to see if Tiramani can go on tomorrow, because I've heard his test averages in the 20s. So that suggests that the few times he has got scores, he hasn't really been able to convert them, or they've just been one-offs.
Yeah. So hopefully he'll be able to bump that up. Mendes.
Hopefully for Sri Lanka, not for us.
Hopefully for Sri Lanka, yes. Although, how much do Sri Lanka need to get? They are about how much behind?
They trail by 130 with 8 wickets left. So as much as we're English fans, we want to see them get 8 wickets in a session tomorrow morning for about 50 runs.
Yeah.
It could be a very interesting match if they get... Even if they just lead by 100, 150, by day 5, it's going to be a tough pitch to bat on.
Especially with there's been some rain as well, disrupting the play.
Yeah. So I think if Sri Lanka bat well for the first session and a half tomorrow, then all 3 results could be possible, really. As unlikely as that was looking after day 1.
Yeah. It's just completely an opposite side. So kudos to Sri Lanka there for really getting themselves back in it.
Yeah. And I don't have anything else to say unless you do.
No. Obviously, I'll be waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning to watch day 4.
Of course. So that's England versus Sri Lanka. 2 days left. Hoping for an England win. And now we have Are You Better Than a Big Bash Umpire? The moment you've all been waiting for.
Yes.
I can't remember how we did last week, but not.
I think
this week
it wasn't. No, it wasn't a great one last week. We had 2 great ones to start, but we've tailed off.
Yeah. So let's hope for a perfect 3-0 record this week.
Bounce back. Let's go for a bounce back. Come on.
Okay. First scenario is in a village match, a batsman drives the ball straight down the pitch where without bouncing, it gets caught between the stumps. The bowler pulls it out and appeals for a catch. What now?
Wait, pulls it out. Pulls it out.
So it's got stuck between the 2 stumps, and he gets it out from between the stumps. It hasn't bounced.
I think it's a dead ball because it was quite entertaining actually. I'm not sure it's the same, but something happened where the batsman hit it into his pad and it got stuck. So me and Slit ended up chasing the bat around to try and get it from his pad before he kicked it away. And he just pushed us away as we tried to get it. But it was a dead ball anyway. So I'm thinking if that was a dead ball, surely it's something similar to that with the stumps.
Yeah, I would have thought so.
Although if it goes through the stumps and it doesn't remove the bails, I think it's not out. I don't think that's possible though. But
no, it hasn't gone through the stumps.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, if it went through the stumps and didn't remove the bails, would that be out? No, I don't think so.
What if it was bowling?
Yeah.
What does that have to do with it though?
I don't know.
But
our viewers might be very interested in that sort of stuff.
All right, so we think because it's got caught in the stumps, it's a dead ball and therefore not out.
Yeah, let's go for that.
Oh, well, we're wrong. It says signal out, caught. The ball did not touch the ground and so is still live.
Oh, that is so harsh. Although you couldn't have hit it that hard if it got stuck in the stumps. Because if you hit it that hard, it will just deflect off them.
Yeah.
But although it's good for us, because the more we get wrong, the more like we are compared to those big bash umpires.
Yeah. And the more room we have to improve.
Exactly, Shuki.
Okay. The incoming batsman is stepping onto the field when a teammate dashes past him, telling him to go back. His captain has changed the batting order. The fielding captain protests. What do you do? So 2 people have come out to bat, basically.
And surely there's nothing wrong with that. Although, is it because he stepped on the pitch first, he has to go?
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought there would be, but as you said, there might be some rule where once the batsman's onto the pitch, as coming on as the next man in, he has to bat.
Yeah, because it could go either way with this.
Yeah, well, which way are we going to go? We can't sit on the fence.
The fence is quite comfortable, actually. I think we should sit there.
Or maybe each of us can say a different thing, and we'll see.
But that'll be a first.
No, I'm gonna go with he's allowed to bat.
Okay, just to make it entertaining, I'm gonna go with he's not allowed to bat. Kick him off the field.
Oh.
The original one has to bat.
Drum roll, please. You must insist that the incoming batsman remains on the field. The batsman's innings started as soon as he stepped onto the field of play, so the captain cannot call him back. This would not apply if play had not been called at the start of a match. So if it's the openers coming out, you're allowed to change. but any other batsman, you can't. So
is that
you were
victory?
right.
That's a victory for myself.
Well, it makes up for your failings in Name the Cricketer.
Yes, because that I'm not very good at naming. So this is the one place I can get back in it.
Yeah. So I've got both of these wrong so far.
It's very bad, Shuki. You need to come on. You need to pull yourself back in this. Come on, Ollie.
This is why I just get square leg if I have to umpire.
I love it.
Not that these scenarios happen in village cricket.
No, I've never seen most of these scenarios happen. Like get caught between the stumps, someone trying to rake the other person to the crease. I mean, never normally happens.
I'm skipping a few of the like obvious ones.
Yeah, just to make it entertaining. But it also, I mean, people, if you get a bad decision, like it's village cricket, they should half expect it. So.
Okay, third and final one for this week is.
Come on, Ollie, you need to get this one.
The wicketkeeper is standing up to the stumps when the usually medium pace bowler sends down an extra fast one that passes the bat. It strikes the keeper on the arm and rebounds onto the wicket, removing the bails. The batsman is still in his crease, but is he out? No. He is not.
No, he's still in his crease. You just said you picked out the harder ones and avoid the obvious ones.
Yeah, well, I find a hard one and then I just do the next two.
Oh, right, fair enough. Okay, but no, he's not out. If it said that his foot was off the line, out of the crease, or line of the crease, then, but he's in the crease, so it's not out.
Yeah, that
it wouldn't make any difference.
It happened twice for my team last season that it bounced off the keeper's pads onto the stumps and was out stumped.
Oh, I've done that before. Just luck.
Yeah.
It's just luck whether it hits
you.
No,
your skill.
It might. Oh yeah, obviously it pops off the seam. You just make sure you elbow it in angle just to hit it.
Yeah, we're right. It is out, but if he had left his ground, it would have been stumped. So
not out. Okay, we are right.
Yeah.
So we are fairly decent.
I'd say we're about as good as Big Bash umpires today.
I think so.
All right, so next week we'll have another 3 scenarios. We'll see if we can get them all right that time.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Guess the Cricketer. Now, I am putting forward a cricketer to Oliver this week after my
embarrassing failure.
Yes, very embarrassing. Last week, I do have to admit that. It was Michael Holding, and I only got 1 point.
Yeah.
I mean, that was unreal. I was lucky to get 1 point, but Shuki's so generous. So, but now I've gone for someone who's quite obvious. So I'll be surprised if Shuki only gets a point here because he's never only got. Well, actually, he's got.
Well, I've got 1 and I got 2.
So he's never got 1 point before. So it'll be very disappointing for his debut 1-pointer. So
he's currently 2-all in the series after 3 episodes.
Yes, and this is Shuki's go in hand. So, Shuki, for 3 points, the first clue. This cricketer is an Australian all-rounder. More bowler, I would say, personally. You might have a different view on him.
Yeah, on him.
And his debut was in 2014. His test debut was in 2014.
Bowling all-rounders. It's too late for Cummins. It's too late for Stark.
Debut.
Yeah.
Debut.
Too late for their debuts. They would have debuted before then, I'd have thought. I don't know. Second clue.
Second clue, no guess.
No.
Okay. This bowler, I'll give you an insight to him. He's a right arm. And his last test match was against England in September 2019.
Yeah, I think I know it.
Who?
Mitch Marsh.
Yes, it is.
2 points. 5 wicket in the Ashes.
Yep.
Somehow.
But yes, it is Mitch Marsh. if I had mentioned my last clue for 1 point, it would have been he plays this year for the Perth Scorchers, which you would have seen a lot of. He's done a few nice cameos with the bat, but fairly easy, I'd say.
Too easy.
Too easy.
You
I
need
don't
to
know
up
why.
your game if you want to win this, Freddie. It's 4-2.
I know it's 4-2 now, and I need to really get back in this, as I don't know how long the series is lasting for, but
Forever.
Forever. Okay, I've got some time then. I've got some time because
Yeah.
I need it. But I'm very nice, Shuki, aren't I, with the ones I give you?
Well, yeah, but that's your downfall.
I just want you to have a head start, which I know I'll chase down very easily.
Whereas I've done 2 people who are retired.
Yeah, so I've done people who have not been retired.
Yeah, that's why I'm winning though.
Yeah. So I think that's what I might look into next week.
Yeah, you got to become more tactical.
I do. It's more than fun and games. It's all about the win.
Mm-hmm.
So, thank you for tuning in for Guess the Cricketer this week. Shuki moves 2 points clear at the top of the table.
Yeah, join us next week where I will be giving Freddie a cricketer to guess, and he'll need all 3 points to regain the lead.
Or just the 2 to come level.
Yeah.
And now, everybody, we are moving on to the Australia versus India 4th test. And this is the final test of the series. It's currently 1-1. Mm-hmm. And we last covered the 3rd test as it was coming to its conclusive day 5. And we, once again, we jinxed the score, didn't we? And we jinxed the outcome.
Well, we pretty much predicted exactly what Australia would do in their 3rd innings.
Yeah, we did that.
The 400 declared. Cam Green, an excellent 84. Steve Smith got another 80 in that match.
Mm-hmm.
But then I don't think anyone saw what was coming next, really. A monumental effort from India. Vihari especially, Ashwin especially as those 2 were injured while batting, to put in that much concentration and effort while being injured. Saved the game for India.
A typical innings there from Pujara, taking about 100 balls to get going. But that's the cricket we love to see, really, isn't it? It ensures there's 4 or 5 days of cricket, which doesn't happen nowadays as much.
Yeah. And it was right for the situation this time.
Yeah, perfect for the situation. Pants actually came out and
yeah, that was an interesting innings. Effective, but interesting.
Yes. 97. Disappointed he didn't get to 100.
Yeah.
But
he did.
Yeah.
He didn't.
Yeah, he didn't. But that very, very good fight back from India. They've done that twice now.
Yeah.
In the series, so never underrate them. Never put them out of the game. So
there was controversy as well in that match, wasn't there? Steve Smith incident.
Yes.
Maybe taking sledging too far.
I mean, Australia have never been one for decorum in the way they play cricket. They're more of a win at all costs sort of team.
Yeah.
I think it's fair to say. I'm all for having really good not fights, but battles between the minds of the wicketkeeper, the slip, and the batsman, or short leg with Marnus chirping away.
Yeah.
Or he seems like my kind of guy with the amount of chat with the chat he gives. But there's a certain limit, really. You have to go. This happened in the England-South Africa tour. There was some foul language which we can't repeat because we are very much a family-friendly podcast. But they got their salaries fined, and I'm not sure what's happened with the incident.
I don't think anything happened. It was just people on social media and stuff have said it's bad.
I mean, really, if it happened in England and South Africa with them, they got 15% of their salaries cut.
But that was worse.
Yes, it was escalated, but it was still out of spirit of the game, as it were. But it's just interesting because Australia, they're going to give you a lot of stick, but you should really keep it like professional, really.
Yeah, and then the Steve Smith incident, he was shadow batting, and apparently he tried to cover up Pant's guard. I think that's what happened.
He was scuffing it almost.
Yeah, from what I've seen, I haven't seen the video of it, but interviews and stuff saying that's what Steve Smith always does, and I can imagine that's what he always does.
He gets changed into his whites just on a random day in the hotel, just to shadow bat. I mean, he does shadow bat whenever, so I mean, loads of people do it during a match.
Yeah, so I don't think there was any intention behind, any bad intentions behind it, really.
The only problem is his background with the sandpaper incident.
Yeah, that was a while ago, though.
I know, but people still label him, Warner.
Yeah.
Well, they're still in the team, but obviously Bancroft's gone now from the main side. But a lot of people still label them as cheats. Once cheats, always a cheat.
Yeah.
So they just thought he was intentionally doing wrong, and he could well have been, because you don't normally shadow bat by marking your crease, but some people do. It just it did look, to be fair though, to say this for Steve Smith, because obviously he'll be tuning into this. He wasn't scuffing it sideways or anything. He wasn't chucking dirt about it. He was just putting his foot in a straight line through it. So either he's making a new guard for Pant, or he's just displaying Pant's original one even more clearly for him. So really, he's doing something for Pant.
And like, is it really that bad if he was doing it? All it means is Pant has to take a guard, which he would have done anyway.
Because you do it every so overs anyway, just to keep it fresh. Umpires get a bit annoyed at it, but yeah, I mean, I don't think it's that bad. It's just that everyone likes to jump on them, as they've had history in wrongdoings before in the game. So I think they get assumed that they're doing it then as well. So
yeah, it's difficult.
Yeah.
But basically, brilliant performance from India. It's a draw, but it will feel like a win.
Yeah.
They chance in the series. And now over to the Gabba in Brisbane, where India, just when we thought they had enough injuries, Ashwin, Jadeja, Vihari, all out through injury.
They jumped on the bus, the injury bus, and
went to the Indian hospital.
Yes. I mean, there's so many debutants in the side.
Yeah. None of the bowlers in this test were playing in the first test.
No.
The bowling lineup between 5 of them has 4 international caps.
I mean,
and 3 of them have been made in this series.
I mean, it's very unfortunate for them injury-wise, but it's not like they're playing Sri Lanka or Bangladesh, someone who they know they can make these changes for.
Yeah.
It's Australia. So that's even more worrying for them, that they're going one of the top 3 sides in the world, and they're having to make these debuts. But sometimes it's a very good thing. Yeah,
it seems to have worked out
quite
obviously well. They would prefer to have their full bowling lineup.
Yeah.
But it's shown them that they have a lot of talent coming through, and they got some really good options for the future, especially Siraj. Natarajan looked good in the first innings. I don't know what it was about him, but both Wade and Labuschagne got out top edging pull shots. So I don't know if he finds a bit of extra bounce or something.
Very could be, yeah. But with the Australian innings, Cameron Green nearly got to his another series half century, which was quite disappointing he didn't. But he batted well. Tim Payne got another 50.
Yeah.
I mean, didn't really do much in the last one.
No, except sled.
except sledge. Although he may have gone a bit beyond sledging. So I mean, there's some words people were describing. One is very annoying, probably, but when you're batting. But I didn't quite see his innings. Did you manage to get him?
But he's definitely a good player.
Yeah.
I think he gets too much stick because he's the captain and he's not the star player.
And also he doesn't produce half centuries nearly as often, really.
No, but he bats at number 7. He's what you need in a number 7. He's averages in the 30s. I think that's what you can expect really from a number 7 batsman. It's just that the modern day is that your wicketkeeper is one of your best batsmen, your captain's one of your best players.
Exactly.
Might not be.
I mean, that's the problem now, because a few years ago you used to be a keeper, nothing else, which definitely made it easier.
When you say a few, like 30, but
yeah, I mean a few years ago, a few plus 10
before Gilchrist.
Before Gilchrist, yes, basically. But it's a lot harder. It's a lot harder for keepers nowadays because you could be a better keeper, but if the other guy's got a better average, he'll take priority. So it's hard for him, to be fair. But
I do quite like him. He came across really well in the test, which I watched. He seems like a good bloke. So as much as I don't like the Aussies because I'm English, I find it quite hard to hate this Australian team, and I do want to see them do well.
I mean, I do also like them, but I do think it'll be a bit odd if they didn't make all the Australians look good in the documentary about them.
Well, yeah. I
mean that, but there are people like Steve Smith and Labuschagne who you just want to see them bat all day.
And
not against England, but
too.
And what?
That's what they tried to do, really. Labuschagne
did it.
Yeah, he's had a good series without being exceptional, really, up till now.
Yeah, 2 half centuries last game.
And 2 40s as well before that.
2 40s, 2 half centuries, and now 100. So a very good series, but not like an exceptional one. So,
yeah. And Steve Smith also got in, I think, 36.
36, yeah.
And then chipped one to short mid-on off Sundar to give him his first ever test wicket.
Yeah.
He looked good. He's got to live up to with his replacing Ravi Ashwin.
That's always going to be a hard task. But now, last episode, we even named the title after him, saying Pucovski is class. And he batted really well. He got a half century on debut. Yes, he didn't get that many. He got only about 12 in the second innings, but
he's injured.
He's been injured, which is very, very unfortunate because then he can't be classed for Australia.
Yeah, injured his shoulder.
Is it bad? Is it like
fielding?
Is he going to be out for the summer, or is he going to be
I think it's probably just out for sort of a month, maybe.
So he should be coming back in soon, and it looks like Australia need him to come back soon.
Yeah, Harris didn't do well. Just
he hasn't done well
around the corner, really.
Yeah, he hasn't done well in the past. David Warner, he was struggling with injury when he came back.
Yeah.
Wasn't comfortable running between the wickets, although shouldn't be a problem because he's not really at the wickets for long. So
he got a good ball. But,
he did, but
he's not back to his usual self yet.
I think it'll take some time. But although I don't know how old he actually is, but he should have a good while to go in his career, hopefully.
Yeah, but all being said, I think after the first innings, fairly even.
I think it is.
Yeah.
62 for 2.
Sorry?
62 for 2 for India at the moment, so not anything major, but
Rohit Sharma managed to get himself out. Played not a good shot. Went for the slog over cow corner with mid-on out on the boundary. Who took a a good running catch, but it's one you'd expect all professionals to take, really. And but India will be very pleased with their bowling effort, with such an inexperienced bowling lineup, bowling to that Australian batting lineup.
They've done a very good job. They've done themselves proud, India.
And that's all I have to say.
Yeah. And I think it sums up, and it should be a very good test and a very entertaining one to be watching in the next coming days. 3 days for the Australian-India one, 2 more days for the England-Sri Lanka one. Both could be very entertaining matches. I
think you'd still say Australia are favourites, unless Pujara and Rahane can get a massive Smith-Labuschagne style partnership, because they don't really have much beyond that due to all the injuries.
No. I mean, it would be disappointing if Australia don't win, especially being up last in the last test. So Australia are the ones, it's theirs to lose, really.
Yeah, but that also, the pressure's on Australia to an extent. And exactly. India sort of just play. No one's expecting them to even get close to winning.
No. Putting them off a bit too early.
So,
it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah. And that's it for this week.
Thank you very much for watching. And do tune in next week for a game, Guess the Cricketer. Are you better than Big Bash Umpire? And we could possibly be having one of our first guests on.
We could. So all that to look forward to next week. But thank you for watching this week. Don't forget to like and subscribe and tell all your friends who aren't listening that they have to listen.
Because we don't want to be missing out on this stuff.
So thank you, Freddie.
Thank you, Oliver.
And goodbye.
Goodbye.